Buerki, the author of Living Without Fear and the co-publisher of Inspired Journeys. I help you overcome your fears in life and writing your book. I offer a course called Believe You Can Write, and I support you with one-on-one coaching. Get in touch with me if you want to start writing your book or Living Without Fear, or order my self-help book, Living Without Fear. And please share this podcast with a friend who you know needs to hear this episode. And why not writing a review so that many more people will find this episode? Today, I'd like to talk about my mother, who will soon turn 88. I want to tell you an episode which happened to us very recently. And if you believe that even an 80-year-old woman isn't able to change and react differently to you, you absolutely need to continue listening to what I'm telling you now. And also, if you believe that your parents haven't heard or seen you for years, and this will not change until they leave this world, even if you have tried so many times, you need to stay with me during the next minutes. So, during my usual visit to my parents on a Saturday, my mother sat in front of me in her armchair and suddenly said, "You need to cut your hair. You're always fumbling around with them. It looks like as if they are bothering you. And I have observed you so many times, and I wanted to tell you today, why don't you cut your hair shorter?" And she showed me with a gesture that she would cut half of my long hair or even more. I was shocked. Not again, I thought. My hair has never been beautiful to my mother. I remember already as a child, she was never content with my hair. It needed to be in a certain form. As a kindergarten child, she never allowed me to have my long blonde hair open. She always tried to tidy it into a braid or pin it up into a top knot. And it has been always a huge torture for me when she did it. When she brushed it, I was crying all the time. It hurt. And she always told me, "Don't make a drama of it. You're exaggerating how you react. I don't do you any harm." And whenever I visited her in the past years, she said something negative about my hair. Most of the time, I didn't react to it. I was too tired to make her understand that I love my hair as it is at the moment. And I don't want to hear what she thinks about it, because in her eyes, it was never nice, let alone beautiful. Never, ever. So the other day, I felt I need to speak up for myself and my hair. And I told her to stop talking about it because I don't want it to be different. I'm very happy with it. And she kept on telling me that the other day she saw some hairdresser with a beautiful haircut, blah, 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 blah. "Mom," I said, "you were never happy about my hair. And let's please end this conversation." She kept on. My father, sitting next to her and listening to it, said to her, "Please stop now. Listen what your daughter says. Let's stop." But my mother couldn't stop explaining herself. "Mom," I said, "I will walk away now if you cannot stop right now." And I left the room. My father went to the kitchen and started preparing our 4 o'clock tea and said to me, "You know, your mom with her age won't change." It will get worse and worse. You cannot expect anything from her anymore. And I agreed and felt rather sad because the discussion with my mom had triggered those old feelings that nothing had been okay in my mother's eyes. I wasn't good enough. I was never doing something well. She's been criticizing me all the past almost 60 years. This was my story. I was suffering a lot from. But suddenly, my mother entered the kitchen and said to me, "I apologize. I'm sorry." I could hardly believe my ears. My mother apologized. She had felt that she had hurt my feelings. I think she has never done this before, or I really don't remember at all. And I said, "Thank you, Mom. This is very kind of you." So what I want to tell you with this small episode with my mother, it's never too late to speak up for yourself. Maybe if nobody has heard you yet, maybe if you try again, it could happen that this other person suddenly hears and feels you. So never give up. Try again. And even if you think your family members are too old to understand you, it can happen as it happened to me. Sometimes there are miracles. Don't stop to believe in miracles. Don't stop to believe in change. There can be change. And maybe it happens exactly then when you don't expect anything anymore. But the most important thing is that you stand up for your feelings and that you tell others that it hurts you, as I told my mom. If you stop telling others, if you expect that they should know you enough to know what hurts you, this doesn't work, or rarely works. You need to be the caring mother or father for your inner child, which has been hurt so many times, and you need to speak up for this hurt child. Only if you dare to do this, you will experience that others will apologize. Take my 88-year-old mom. I've been hurt by her so many times. She couldn't understand me and feel with me because she never experienced that someone understood her and her feelings in her whole life. But suddenly, she could apologize. She apologized for what she said that Saturday afternoon. Of course, I would love to hear even more from her, that she apologizes for all she ever said about my hair or what she did with it. I would love to hear that she feels sorry about how she treated me all these years. But she and me aren't there yet. Maybe she will do it in the future. Now I have hope that this could happen, but maybe it does never happen. I don't need it to happen because I'm this caring mother to my inner child now, and whenever I feel hurt and I feel triggered by old feelings, I can talk to my inner child and give her all the attention she needs to heal. If you need to heal more your inner child, and if you haven't read my book, Living Without Fear, order it today on Amazon. And thank you, dear listener, for being here in this moment and taking some time to listen to me. Appreciate yourself for this. And if nobody has told you yet today, you're awesome, you're loved, and you matter. Thank you so much for sharing this podcast with someone who needs to hear this episode. Have an amazing day and talk to you next week.